Travis Wayne Goodsell. This is a comment video reply to a guy claiming to be Ancient Answers, and checking out his site. He's got a whole bunch of little shorts, video shorts, of ridiculous fallacy arguments that Mormon apologists use to prove the Book of Mormon archaeology is true. Oh dear God. And he's responding to my video, Mormons Shot Down with Joseph Smith and Book of Mormon in the Learning of the Jews. Instead of just doing a reply to his comment, I don't want his comment on my channel videos. And so we'll do this video for him to get my reply. He asks, have you heard of Jim Gee? Not Jim Gee, but John Gee. I've heard of John Gee's father. Let's do a check to see if there is any such man. Nahum Maps by James Gee. So it looks like it's a brother. Because I see, well, he could be the son. Oh dear God, what a nightmare that would be. Passing on generations of lies. I see the Missionary Training Center served a full-time proselyting mission from July 2000. Oh dear God, he is a little boy. It is his son. Oh my God. Yeah, so he would have been 18 in 2016. 20 in 2018. And so 5 more years, 25 years old. Oh dear God. Did you not get married? Girls, do you not understand? You need to marry men. It's a must. I'm sorry, you have to make the sacrifice. The human race is at stake. Oh dear God, he's got delusions of grandeur. He claims to be an independent guide, researcher, and archaeologist in the Middle East for over 20 years. He's only 25. Oh my God. This is worse than I thought. Oh my hell. There are people in Utah, Mormons, who are in prison now because they have forged their resumes. Oh dear God. And he says, I'd love to connect with you and talk about the modern findings of Book of Mormon evidence. I bet there's nothing new. I didn't find any in his channel. They're all the same old crap. I'm not sure about your videos where you refer to the Book of Mormon being disproved. Did you not read the title? Do you not comprehend the title? Do you not even comprehend the Book of Mormon? See, this is a major problem of Mormons. They listen to faith promotions. They don't listen to guys like me. I'm an anthropologist of the ancient Middle East, a legitimate one. I am educated, degreed, experienced, published, having made numerous decipherments, having made numerous discoveries. Oh, dear God. And he wants me to link them. Bleep you. Or is it just all of them? You do have a lot of videos. Yeah, more than you realize, because there's another channel of videos. So, yeah. This is a repeat of videos I've been doing for years and had done recently. You have to use scientific methodology. You don't just claim scientific methodology and do BS work. If you're unfamiliar with local news, they love to do news stories on the latest studies. You'll even see in the national news where they'll do polls and claim that it's news. Those are all fake. They are not legitimate scientific processes. You must use real scientific processes. And the only way to know about the opinion of the nation, for polls, for example, is to hold an election and see what the results are. Because then everybody speaks. If you don't have everybody speaking, you don't have an accurate reading of the entire nation. Everybody's vote must be made and counted in order for it to be a legitimate election. But that's science. Apparently, we want to be a democracy rather than a constitutional republic. And so certain groups are okay with denying people the right to vote. You recognize patterns. You see similarities with observable data. You know, the five senses. Not spiritual witness. Oh, I had this spiritual witness 3 weeks ago. I see a pattern. No. Real, tangible, physical patterns. And then in the course of observation, you will discover anomalies. Oh no, this doesn't fit the pattern. So then you have to run a test. But you can't run a test until you develop a theory. The theory must involve sound arguments leading to a deductive conclusion. This is the Socratic method. If you do not use the Socratic method and your premises do not deductively lead to the conclusion, you've committed a fallacy argument. You're wrong. You have to scrap your theory and start all over again and do it right. And so, there's a lot of anomalies in the Book of Mormon compared with the geography of of the Americas. There are numerous theories of where the Book of Mormon actually took place. He chose the eastern United States. He focuses on the Hopewell Indians. However, scientific evidence has established the facts that the Book of Mormon was written by Sidney Rigdon. He is not factoring that in at all in any of his conclusions. All of his conclusions are therefore wrong. There is no geography of the Book of Mormon because Sidney Rigdon is the major author. I'm the one who scientifically discovered, using the scientific process I just talked about, to conclude the fact that Joseph Smith Sr. rewrote the 116 pages after Jr. let them get stolen by Martin Harris. Fact. And so there is no brass plates because there is no gold plates. Do you see how we did that? He's also incorrect as he's redefining time periods and ages of history. He's calling it ancient answers, but doesn't go back further than 100 BCE. He calls it BC, by the way. That's part of the classic period. The ancient period starts going back to the Persians when they ended. When the Persian Empire was conquered by the Greeks started the classical period. Now I know this is confusing because classic rock has now turned into 90s music. That was 70s music when I was a kid. So you can see that this little boy, if he's Jim Gee or not, I'm willing to bet he's John Gee's son. I've got stories to tell about John Gee too, and I have over the years, but it's been a while, because he just isn't important. John Gee, in case you didn't know, is the author of the Book of Abraham Gospel Topic Essays, where he tells everybody Joseph Smith is a fraud. He's not a translator. He just got it off of the top of his head and wrote it down. And then there's personal story between the two of us also, but just so that you get an understanding of where this bleep bleep comes from. And you can see the spawn that he had produced. And so, it doesn't matter anymore, ex-Mormons. You've already won the argument with science. All Mormons are now shot down in flames because Sidney Rigdon's the major author, and Joseph Smith Sr. had to rewrite the 116 pages. After all that work William Morgan did. That's why he was pissed and put Joseph in a timeout for a whole year. And so, yeah, it's just, I'm not disproving the Book of Mormon. This is what he does not understand. By showing that Sidney Rigdon's the major author and Joseph Smith Sr. rewrote the 116 pages, I'm proving the Book of Mormon, which technically in scientific terms, confirming. You prove through math. A math proof proves your theory. But if you can confirm multiple times, you've established a fact. And I've done that. And so this is what Mormons cannot come to grips with, and what Mormon apologists are so evil with doing, is that they are taking Mormons down a rabbit hole of anti-science. That they literally misinterpret what science is. Because there's no cows in Europe. Jim Gee claims to be an archaeologist. He has no clue about how to be an archaeologist. Oh, sure, he watches the Indiana Jones movies, and that's what sparked this bleep bleep. Dear God. I mean, it's just... It's like he doesn't even care to understand the little setup that I had at the beginning. I thought that was clever. Because in the learning of the Jews, the Book of Mormon is not literal history. It's prophecy. And you need to understand prophecy. And as an anthropologist of the ancient Middle East, I know prophecy. I know how they did it. Do I need to list it again? I mean, dear God. And so, yeah, you're not going to find cows from Europe in the archaeological data for the classical period in America, let alone prior to. Because European cows didn't come here until European cows got sent here by Europeans when they came to colonize. And what they're doing is pulling an anachronism. Because if they do find burial sites of European cows, they then forge the archaeological data to say that, well, there you go, there's proof. No, they date to when the Europeans brought them over in the colonization process. No. Yes. And so this is what they don't get. And other things like the coinage, and I saw one about swords he had. Oh, they had swords around the God. And I just want to scream. Of course there were swords here in America. It's not a debate. That doesn't prove the Book of Mormon true. That's another thing. Is that they look for other archaeological evidence of what is talked about in the Book of Mormon to therefore prove it's a fallacy argument. It's a non sequitur. You know, so what? If you find pyramids in Central and South America, that doesn't prove that the Book of Mormon is true. This guy won't believe it because he doesn't believe in that theory, which is a nonsense theory and needs to be dismissed. I forgot what I was looking up, so I'm not going to look it up. It's just... so, yeah, this is... I'm already 20 minutes in, so... I mean, this is what Mormons don't get. You have to change the whole paradigm thinking process. And it's incorrectly translated as an incorrect translation from the original Greek word. But you know it as repent. It's metanahio, something like that. The ending's a little weird. But it means change your mind. And that's difficult for Mormons to do. They can't do it. And so literally Mormons are refusing to repent and come to the truth. It's that simple. Use science. You know, I did it. I still know that Joseph Smith is true and the Book of Mormon is true because I used science. And I know there's a Christ because I used science. But it's not Christian interpretation of Mormons. All of that is false. I can just... How many times do I have to repeat this?